Yo, what's up? So, you want to talk, huh? You seen the title. You know what this is about. Now you're probably like, Evan, what the fuck are you talking about? Lord of the Rings happened in real life. I'm not gonna edit this video, but if I did, it would zoom up on my face when I made that sound effect. Let me move this a little bit. We got the music banging, but I want to make sure you're hearing what I'm saying. I'm assuming you're hearing what I'm saying, so. Oh yeah, baby. All right. I should turn this down too. All right. So I'm not gonna get into nitty-gritty detailed theories about how I think that Lord of the Rings could have happened in this reality. So, but I will explain. So I guess I will get into some nitty-gritty. All right. So check it out, right? I'm gonna get all esoteric here in a second, and I really hope you guys can hear me correctly with this music. I'm just like, it's in the boombox. Boop, boop. All right. So check it. I'm gonna get esoteric. So, I said so many times. You and I have memories, right? Now, what is the memories? What is memory? What is it that you do when you remember something? In a sense, you could say you're thinking about it, but also you could say you're imagining it. See, now the word imagination, a lot of times people think of the word imagination as fake, but technically, in a sense, the eye that you see your imaginations with within you is the same eye that you remember with. So it's the same thing that sees images within yourself, right? You know, when you're speaking inside, who is that? You speak without using your physical mouth. You hear without using your physical ears within your imagination. And you do that when you remember. Shablaka. So you and I have memories, right? So now let's say that the field around us also has a memory. Boom shakalaka. Now let's say that the earth itself also has a memory. Ah! They're making a Final Fantasy VII theory about this technically, which is accurate. But when he talks about it, I automatically think he's talking about our world as well, because that's, in a sense, how it works. If you think about it, everything originated from memory. There was one memory and then it remembered something, or like a cell remembered something about that and then it created more of it or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? But anyways, the earth itself is memories around it. Alright? So now we're displaying that imagination. You know where I'm going with this, right? So now C.S. Lewis. Is it C.S. Lewis? No, that's the dude that made Narnia. I'm sorry for the disrespect. J.R. Tolkien, my man. J.R. Tolkien, right? Better be. Anyways, right. I watched the movies a lot though, alright? So I never read the books. Okay, alright. J.R. Tolkien, right? If I'm not mistaken, which then I might be mistaken, because I might be thinking of C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis was Catholic. Either way, whatever. J.R. Tolkien, I'm pretty sure he was on some shit. I think he was spiritual. And if not, either way, he was tapped in. He was tapped in, bro. So there's like mediums and channelers as well, right? They're tapped into the force, the etherical mind, as you will. So my theory is technically that Lord of the Rings did happen, and it happened before the flood. You get what I'm saying for you guys. What I'm saying is that he was basically being channeled through. He was a conduit for spirit to channel that memory, in a sense, through him as he wrote the books. You know what I mean? And then Peter Jackson came and made the movie. So maybe Aragorn didn't have, and he was like all the time or something. You know, maybe those weren't exactly their names. Maybe this was, you know, it wasn't exactly how it looked in the fucking movie. It wasn't exactly how it was in the book. But there was a lot of spot ons. And it was, you know, maybe J.R. Tolkien had its own taste. Peter Jackson had his own taste. Peter Jackson, bro. I hope I'm not fucking up right now. Peter Jackson? Is that his fucking name? Peter fucking Jackson? Oh my gosh. They're like, this guy, we gotta listen to this dude about freaking Lord of the Rings? If it existed? Bear with me, my logic is sound, hopefully. With the memories and all that type of stuff. You know, you get that like kink. But anyways, it's just my logic behind this, right? So, let's say, my theory with this, if it were to have happened, it's kind of hard to say. In my historical timeline of how I see the world, 10,000 years ago, around the year 10,000 BC, is when a great flood happened. Maybe 10,000 BC to 8,000 BC. But there's historical references all around the world and in certain texts about there being a flood that happened basically on this planet. And uh, more scientists have come out to say that it's come. There's different sections of scientists, right? You got archaeologists that are on their own segment, and you kind of have like mainstream archaeologists or whatever they're funded by and stuff. But they're coming out and basically saying shit. So it's like, what the fuck was that? You know, it's like one of those things where you're saying something and it just sounds so like, you know how it sounds to other people around you, like it just sounds wacky, you know, and then you start like getting a voice like, come on, man, and then you like lose total track of what you're saying because you're just like, okay, but hey, if you don't agree, you don't agree. I'm just throwing out my fucking reasoning why I think, alright? So it's not, I'm not trying to convince you because I myself don't fully know. I don't know if it actually happened. I just kind of believe that it happened. I can see it happening, and I want to put out my thoughts out there and see what your guys' thoughts are on the matter too, if you guys have any opinions on that. So what I'm saying is, it could have happened after the flood, but at the same time, I believe that like magic was actually in this realm before, and that there's an etherical like kind of like magnetic vibrational shield or something that's actually like we're not able to really tap into magic. Maybe we are, but it's a lot harder. And maybe after a certain point and certain time, that barrier will kind of change. The veil, as you will kind of change and allow those things to be easier. And we'll have more of the knowledge. That could also be we lack the knowledge of how to do it. Um, but also scientifically, in a scientific sense as well, when the planets move around and stuff, the magnetical forces, like the stars and everything, all have a part to do with each planet and stuff. So basically, even the planets around us as well, the gravitational fields of the planets and stuff, wherever they're at, what cycle and stuff, which is where people of the past, they were already aware of this when it came to astronomy, astrology, or whatever. They were already aware of this. Bukashaka. They're already aware of all this. So it's like those magnetical forces can change like over 2,500 years. That's why there's in some cultures you have the star, like the star signs Pisces. We're going into the age of Aquarius. It's literally like there's now we're in a certain rotation after like 25, like I think it's 2,500 years or 2,500 years. I think it's 2,002. No, it might be. I think it's 2,500 years if I'm not mistaken. So we're in a different cycle now. So now, in a sense, there is an actual different magnetical kind of field affecting the planet right now. So just like how the moon can affect our planet when it comes to like the waves or what is it, like the tide and stuff. I even once heard it affects women's menstrual cycles, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I could be totally wrong on that. I've heard this. So there's that right there is already how it's shown that it affects, you know what I mean, the planet. So that's my theory there with that too. It's like there's a certain veil that's not open right now, and maybe after a certain point in time that stuff will be, because we got a lot of movies and stuff and a lot of things that it's like about fantasy and all this type of stuff. And going back onto imagination and memory, it's like, where did all these things originate from? Where did that memory of like fire and magic and all this type of stuff originate from? Where did it all come from? There was one memory in the beginning. There was only one thing in the beginning. In the beginning, there was only one thing, and then it became many things. Then there was many memories, one memory to many memories. So there was always a beginning source. So that memory, that imagination, had to come from somewhere. That's what I'm saying. And dragons, you guys, it wasn't until about 100 years ago, I think what I read was around 1900s, early 1900s or late 1800s, when people started saying that dragons, there was a scientist or somebody came out and said that dragons are now like mythical. But there was a time believed where dragons were actually like a thing. And you have art everywhere practically in the world of certain dragons and stuff like that and lore and all this type of stuff. And I know this seems crazy even for me still it's just like that, this might mean, certain things. So I don't want to be that guy that's like, guys, there are these things, and then like I'm totally fucked. Like I don't want to say that. I don't want to be that guy. I'm not trying to be like, yes, I know, and now because we're magical creatures, and I will show you the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, hey, this is what I'm seeing. I don't know, man. God give me strength, like type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So like. So like these things, imagination and stuff, it comes from somewhere, and as above so below kind of thing. And like I think these are some really deep kind of things too when you like contemplate, like it's kind of like whoa. I don't know if you guys have ever played Final Fantasy IX. At the end of it, when you're in Memoria, even Garland is talking to Zidane about this, basically talking about the origination of memories and like how memories you guys already know. If you can hear this shit in the background, I hope this shit is like perfect. This is perfect. I'm just a soldier. A Sephiroth! So basically, going back onto the fucking Lord of the Rings, that could have happened before the flood when there was magic at the time of like Atlantis. You had Atlantis and you had Lemuria and all this shit. There were so many factions, like, right? So you have like Lemuria and Atlantis, and to me, like Lemuria and Atlantis, they were around for a really, really long time. These continents, and Atlantis possibly could have been the Atlanteans, which controlled kind of the world. So there were different spots. There wasn't just one Atlantis, but they had certain places that was like Atlantis. But who knows? There might have been an actual place that was just Atlantis, and now it's underwater. So there could also be mermaids underwater, which would make sense too. Like, why would we find them? It doesn't seem like they'd be stupid. Like maybe long ago they were like being killed, so they went under the sea, and they're really in a fucking place, just living down there somewhere. And they know we're not gonna find them. Maybe till much later they have some secret barrier. I know it sounds silly, but listen to the music and think about it. It's like, what is this? It's like, what is this? What are we experiencing right now? As I stare deeply into your eyes. Anyways, so it could have done that, or it could have been happened after the flood, type of deal. But like for Siren and Sirens, Syrians, Sauron. Oh guys, I'm tired. It's been a long day. Sauron. I don't even know how to say his name right now. The motherfucking eye. The one ring of power. Like that, dude. I was just thinking that shit last night. Like, dude, that sounds so. Yeah, okay, let's say magic is real, right? Let's say magic is real, and magic was real before, and much more real. There was fucking wizards. Yeah, thunder. You know what I'm saying? It was like that. A ring, a one ring, like an evil ring. Dude, that makes total sense. Of course, that seems like that would happen at some point in history. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these fairy tales and stuff like that, bro. I think there's way more history than we even realize, dude. I think actually, like, I kind of under the belief and feeling that there are been civilizations, possibly like ours, maybe 100,000 years ago, maybe even more. Maybe millions of years ago, and maybe like crazy shit has happened. This is like extraterrestrials, but we're also like high tech, and we're the extraterrestrials as well, and all this stuff. Like we don't really fully know like the full history of this planet, So like I'm like I almost feel wild saying, but like even maybe like Final Fantasy at one point, I keep getting this vision that like maybe just what comes to me is like 200,000 years ago, Final Fantasy VII, the events of that like happened roughly around there. Right? How crazy would that be? Like it's insane for our minds to almost wrap around the fact that there might have been civilization like ours, or even more high tech, even in a smooth kind of like modern way of how we have it in our archaeology. It's crazy for us to think that because we usually see time as like like the way we've been taught to see history, or we see history as just like, you know, we've slowly advanced up, and now we're like, you know what I mean? So it's like, no, that's insane. Like, there's no, let's switch that one. I like that one, but that, damn it, actually, I shouldn't have switched it. Just totally fucking, that's cool. This is the closing song. Maybe I should go back to this one. Yeah, this is a long video, as it should be. It's talking about Lord of the Rings. But, fuck, what was I saying? I totally forgot. I got distracted when it came to the freaking song, and I switched it. I guess this is also appropriate. Oh, Final Fantasy VII happening. So yeah, we see the time like hella linear and shit. And okay, yeah, I am. You guys know I'm baked. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. But that doesn't mean. Listen to what I'm saying. Don't be caught on me being baked. All right. That is not important. What's important is what I'm saying. Which is stupid, anyways. If me being baked deteriorates you from not listening to my theory, then get out of here, man. You weren't even listening to begin with. You know what I'm saying? You can't just disagree all of a sudden because you're just like, oh, he's, of course. You know, it should be like, oh, wow, well, of course. Nah, at this point, you do it so much, it's just like, it's fun, you're like there, but it's not, you know. You would know if you smoked, if you do smoke. Anyways, just sometimes I get a little bit, I'm like, huh, I get sidetracked. Fuck, I gave away my cover. Anyways. So, oh shit. No, I'm silly. Fuck, dude, I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now, but it doesn't matter, we're gonna keep going. Linear time, it's hard for us. Sorry, guys, I'm sorry I'm doing that to you guys. I hope you're holding on. The linear time over here, it doesn't fucking, like, we always see it as going backwards. So it's hard for my mind, at least, to conceive, like, it was like backwards, and it was like, this is where it's at, and then it was like that, and it was like that before, and it was like, it was like that. And it's like, what? No way, you know? So it's, like, hard for me to imagine that it could be possible. But if it is possible, then, yeah. But then, I don't know. That doesn't seem right either. But who knows? I don't know. It's just a theory, a game theory. I remember somebody told me he thought Dragon Ball Z was real too. And hey, going back to the imagination and memory and stuff like that. So anyways, I think I'm going to end this video off. Because I'm like 17 minutes in. And I'm getting tired. And you know what I'm saying? This was really good though. I'm really glad that I was able to sit here in front of you guys. And play the music. This is very fitting. I'm glad I was able to sit here with you guys, and I'm glad that you were able to listen to me talk about Lord of the Rings, imagination, fantasy, and yeah, I think with each step we're gonna get there. We're gonna figure out the truth. I know we're gonna make it. And this is one thing, just one thing that I gotta say to you. Baby, don't you know it's true? This has been my theory on why I have a query and why I shall tell you Lord of the Rings could be true. And one time of the planet, maybe I'm frantic, just a fan who wants to believe. But seriously, the imagination thing does make sense though, right? You know it does. When you heard that shit, you're like, damn, I made some fucking sad shit. I'm just saying. Don't sleep on that shit. It ain't no kid shit, bro. Everything you see around you is made from the imagination, dog. Seriously, them CDs over there, somebody imagined that music or channeled that music through them as a conduit. They weren't they're just doing it. They are the conduit, you know what I'm saying? Somebody imagined that album. Yo, I'm gonna make it like this. Now we're gonna use our imagination tools that we use. I mean, it didn't come out of poof, but it kind of came out of poof first. The trees and all this shit. I mean, it grew all organically, but where did it all come from? The one, the beginning, the first memory. So it's like imagination and the physical are like intertwinable, is what I'm trying to say. How could they not be? But Evan, just because I imagine something fully doesn't mean that it happens and comes true. Of course not. This is the physical reality where the conscious development here is much more structured in a more mass blast. Okay, it's hard for me to say that like fast like that normal. Step moves slowly here, but if you focus on one set and goal, then it'll be much more clear. But gosh, alright, I'm giving this a horrible no. I can't stop. Unless the music stops, then it's goodbye. There's one more song. No way. You see the eyes behind me? And there, you have to defocus. Watch me everywhere. Oh no! I'm just kidding. I remember one time I was shooting out there and I was seeing eyes everywhere. This shit is. I don't actually don't remember that. That was something. I'm just kidding. Kidding. Next time. Anyways, this is that video and it's over. Peace out, guys. Have a great night. Have a great day. I love you. Sleep tight. Or happy morning. Good morning, wherever you are. If you just woke up, good morning, sunshine. Are you awake now? I hope you are. How do I look? Do I look good? I know I do. I know I fucking do. I know I do. You don't have to say anything. Alright, no, seriously though. Seriously.